So we're removing the rear brake line, the OEM brake line. We just disconnected it from up here, used vice grips, and using a 10mm on the backside to get the male end off. So we're not going to retain the factory bracket that mounts this here, that would go over this collar here. I'm just going to figure out a way to zip tie this eventually. So you can use that bracket and thread this through here, but we're not going to do that. I'm not really worried about the way the wiring looks.
There now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was just.
Yeah. This is the last pain in the butt.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, seriously, I know.
Don't put that out in the world.
Yeah. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. All right, so here are the extended brake lines installed. This is the passenger side, obviously, going up to the frame there. And this is the driver. It's not hooked onto the axle yet. I just have that plugged with just a regular bolt there. That's going up into the engine bay, to the hard line. And then the rear is back there. I still have to figure out how I'm gonna secure them all, but definitely noticed quite a bit of change in pedal feel. Definitely a lot firmer. Stopping was a little bit quicker, a little bit more responsive. So all in all, satisfied with those, and I don't have to worry about the axle going back and forth and then pulling on those lines and then losing my brakes. All right, so next we have our Ironman 4x4 front sway bar extension brackets. These will go to the axle. I'll show you all of that in a minute, but for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get these connected to the frame side mounts. The other frame side mount is already on the truck because I was making sure that I had the right hardware. So your hardware, you're gonna have 2 washers and a nylock nut with the extension brackets. Your original hardware is going to go through the top side like so, into the captive nuts on the frame mount side. And then these will go through the bushing mount with the nylock nut. So here I'm just kind of fastening up the frame side mount to the front sway bar on the driver's side. And then here I am installing the brackets into the upper portion with the welded nuts. And then you just kind of have to finagle it, the sway bar into the axle with the 2 studs that'll go into the top of the axle housing where the radius arm mounts are. And it's kind of a juggling match, trying to get everything to line up and holding it. It's not too heavy, so it's not going to be like it's really, hard to balance it while you're under there. You're in a little bit of a precarious position, but it's not too bad. Here I am just threading the bolt through the casing, which goes in between or through the bushing. And here again, just inserting the nylock nuts through the bottom portion of the sway bar extension into the bushing of the actual sway bar. I kept everything relatively loose on every single bolt, even the ones going into the frame rail. Drop brackets installed, everything tightened down. Have yet to see exactly how that'll feel. I remember driving with my front sway bar in, obviously, and you'll have a little bit less body roll, obviously, but now with the 6-inch lift, I think this is going to make quite the difference. So what this obviously does, these drop brackets, is give you clearance from your drive shaft, which is why this is already perforated right here. But that gives you the extra clearance so that you're not contacting your drive shaft. All right, so we got our OEM sway bar here with the stock links and the stock bushings, and then these are the Ironman 4x4 extended sway bar links. This is the single rectangle plate style. They do have another style that is kind of angled differently that connects to the bottom of the frame. These are going to connect to the outside of the frame. So just ensure that you have which one, or make sure you figure out which one you have so that you know which one to order. All we have to do really is get our original mounting bracket off of our sway bar. Hopefully this will be able to get it off. Yep, there we go. Same with the other side. We'll go ahead and get our new sway bar end links out of the bag. So these ones are nice because they'll work for any application, especially stock, because you've got your close to your original holes, but these are designed for a lift anyways. Mine is a 6-inch lift, so I'll end up using probably the furthest holes from the bottom. All right, so now that we have our new end links on, we'll get underneath the truck, bolt these two to the axle, and then I'll show you on the frame side how we mount those. We're gonna mount to our axle first. So for my particular lift, in order for the sway bar to clear the shock body, I had to go with the top 2 holes, but there's obviously a variety of holes here for different size lifts. But again, yeah, mine is going to use the topmost. All right, so yeah, really easy install. I mean, you don't have to have anything. You can do this without any components being taken off other than the sway bar itself, obviously. Good thing to do would be to replace the actual sway bar end links themselves, but here's the extension plate, everything all buttoned up, or I'm sorry, tightened down, yep. And they look like they're gonna come into contact with the shock body a little bit. I'll keep you updated on how that goes, but that is the install, really easy. And again, check your sway bar end link bracket and see if it's on the bottom side or the side of the frame rail. Mine was on the side. If you liked what you see, like and subscribe for more 80 Series Land Cruiser content. And until next time, I'll see you on the trails.